Hello, everyone. I am, of course, Calabas Rand, and with me is Marky Mark, my GM. And today we have the ladies from Convivial who put on the convention. We have the first chair, and I believe, Anita, you the second chair?
Yep.
Second chair. First and second chair. The ladies that put it on, along with their staff, we were there. We had a blast. And I thought, what better way than to bring them here onto the show so they can tell you more about how the con came about, um, why this con was so important. And one of the things that I loved about it was so laid back. It was a relaxing con. We didn't really have to rush or get pushed around to do anything. You know what I mean? It was just so laid back, very calm. Um, Everybody was so super friendly and helpful. But Jenny, tell us about how all this came about.
So we had gone to a convention last year and realized, so my group of friends and I were in a band, and we go to conventions usually for the music. And we play at a lot of different cons. So we went to a con, realized that their whole music section basically had dropped off, and there wasn't a whole lot. And we were like, oh my gosh, what happened to the convention that had all the music? Where's all the music? And we were all joking around, and I was like, oh, we could start our own convention, and then we could have all the bands, and my band could play because I could run the convention. Little did I know your band can't play when you run the convention because you ain't got no time. Practice? What's practice? But yeah, it just started out as a joke in Anita's living room, honestly, with a handful of people. We were just like, oh, we should start our own convention. We could do this and we could do that. And then the next thing I know, we had a meeting to see who was interested, and all these people came and they were like, I'll help, I'll do this, I'll do that. And we were like, oh, okay. And next thing I know, somebody looks at me and goes, guess you're running a convention, huh? And I was like,
we basically told her it was hers. By the way, you're doing this.
Oops.
This was your idea. Guess who's running it? Not me.
Started as a joke.
So I guess you opened it up when you spoke life into saying, hey, yeah, we can do this, and now you're doing it.
Yeah.
So how scary was that?
It was crazy.
Then we had a lot of meetings with, a bunch of people that had ideas, and we were talking about it, and we're like, well, we want to do something that's music focused, right? So that we have entertainment, everybody just comes and watches and listens to a band and just chills out. And then it kind of evolved from there into like, what do we focus on? And then we had so many amazing cosplayers. So it became a lot of music and cosplay and podcasting and authors, so it became a little collective. And I think about halfway through the con, they were calling it Cozy Con. Because it was just, it's not huge, but it's, we got a lot going on. You can find something to do, go chill out, hang out with your friends, check out all the fan tables. We had a great turnout with you guys. I was so glad you guys were able to be there, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So, and the matriarchs of fandom kind of got out there a little bit more, which was even better.
Yeah.
Well, and that was the other thing. We wanted it to be female ran. Like, I mean, like we obviously have men on staff and everything. We have females on staff, and we wanted both, but we really wanted the lead on the convention to be a female kind of run thing, because so often you go to conventions and, opening ceremonies, a guy in a nerdy t-shirt and a Hawaiian shirt gets up and introduces everything. He's the con chair. And we were like, wouldn't it be cool if there was a con that had like two women running it? Wouldn't that be neat? And then here we are, two women running it.
There's not a lot of things out there in fandom that are women run. I tried to find conventions that are run by like a group of women, and gosh, to try and find anything, it's like really hard.
We searched, we couldn't find any.
That's kind of the reason why we have the matriarchs of fandom, because I mean, the fandom is a sausage factory. We're all
Well,
here. You
it's
know
a
what I mean?
collective, but I mean, there's a lot more sausages that are a little more outspoken.
Well, look, I mean, that was one of the things that I wanted to do because I kept saying we'll go to a convention and we'll promote the matriarchs of fandom because they were a consistent podcast that we did.
Mhm.
And although the ladies have, some of the ladies that started out have either changed positions or are no longer there, the five that we do have are really strong at it. We made Vonda the showrunner. So anybody who's in charge of anything that I do is like a showrunner. And we have Vonda being the showrunner for the matriarchs, and then on my Star Trek side, I have Katala doing all my stuff for the Klingons. And the page erupted. Everybody's like, "Yes, that's what I'm talking about." It's about time that a woman did something. And I'm like, "Okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool with it. I'm glad you guys are cool with it." You know what I mean? And I let them do their thing, and the page has never run smoother.
Yeah,
Good.
that's good.
With Vonda, all I do is check in and go, "So when do we want to do a show?" Okay, cool. I'm good, and I love it. Now with the guys, it's like pulling teeth. When are we doing the show? What are we doing it on? And I'm like, you guys are in charge of it. What happened? I don't understand what happened from me saying, yeah, and you're like, yeah, I want to do it, to, so me and Marky Mark have to really kind of pull up the slack, and I keep throwing stuff on his plate. Pretty soon he's going to be like, look, man, I can't keep doing this. So we have another one called The Blurs, which is Black
Nice.
Nerd.
Yeah.
And that show is an after 9 show. And I got to put the warning up there because, as you expect, it gets pretty raw.
Ella would be perfect to add to that.
Really? See,
Oh yeah.
I need to get in
Add
contact
Bella.
with her. I need to get in contact with her because I saw her at the Klingon one, at the Klingon panel that Katala did. And then the other panel that you did, which kind of blew me away, was the relationship panel with the question mark at the end of it. Now, out of curiosity, I had to see this panel. And I'm telling you, me and Marky Mark were there.
Yeah.
And we're looking over at each other and we're like, okay, all right. And then a wealth of information came out and I was like, oh, did not expect that, but okay, And it was different. It was nice though. You know what I mean? It was not something that I was like, oh God, no. I was like, oh, well, keep going. Let me know what, okay. All right.
Right.
The people there were great. Big L and Abby were there, and some information came out over there, and that kind of hit me left side. Yeah, well, they were talking about the relationships and stuff. It's kind of, I guess that was kind of like, him and her saying, okay, we're going to, because of this panel, we're taking a stand on what we want to do with our relationship.
Good. I'm
So,
glad
you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, it was very positive. Of course, everything, that you guys had going on, that and the fudge guy. I know that guy made some bank because I'm telling you, every day.
Pictures of was the fudge guy.
When I saw him, so my family goes to Bizarre every year. We have since I was itty bitty. And my dad and I went, I saw that fudge guy, and I had seen him at RavenCon, but I'd also seen him at Bizarre every year for like the last 5 or so years. I went up to him and was like, oh my God, I'm running a convention. You have to come. I don't have a business card. I'm going to write my number on the back of RavenCon's business card. You need to contact me. And he was like, okay. And now he like posted on his site. He's like, I'll see you next year. Clearly he did well. I mean, I bought fudge from him.
You can't.
Everybody.
Yes.
Every day. Right? Every day. He had me. I went by the first day. I'm like, no, I'm not indulging. We're not doing that today.
You did the same.
I'm a large man. I don't need to make myself, but by Saturday, I was like, I'll take 5 of those turtles. Right. Oh
Yeah.
my God. So I mean that was just awesome. And the music selection was great. Throughout all the bands though, I love the Space Pirates with the robotic speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sitting there going, how they get that speaker to talk like that? How they get it? You know, I mean, I'm breaking it down in my mind. Hip Hop McDougal.
Oh, loved Hip Hop McDougal.
Okay. The X-wing pilot that I came in, we call him Outlaw 7. His name is Axe. He started sending me their videos. And he's like, we gotta start promoting these guys. I'm like, dude, you found it. I said, go do the legwork. You know, do the legwork. Go try to contact them and see if you want to get them on the show and whatever else. We can push out their videos. Because it was great because they were giving out little ducks with little signs on them and stuff like that. Sounds like you guys are the same one.
So I actually had a chance to talk with Noah, who is the organizer for the Space Pirates. I forget his stage name, but he's also an artist, and he does art from stickers. Now, looking at them, you'd never know they're stickers until you get up close. They are amazing. So I told him that he's got to start getting his art out there a little more at conventions because he would do really well.
He would.
He's got a lot of geeky stuff in there that's really, really cool. So it's always nice to get to talk to people that you don't normally talk to, and then you find out like some really cool thing about this person. You're like, oh man, that's really awesome. We could have done, blah 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 had I known.
I wish I had talked to Hip Hop McDougal and their fiancés a little bit more at the beginning because apparently they thought they were the only ones drinking all weekend. They thought nobody else was indulging, and I was like, wait, you didn't find any of the parties? And they were like, no, we were paying for drinks in the bar. And I was like, oh no, that's not how we do things.
No. We had to slow down because I think, Friday I was like, look, everybody please remember that, we have a show at 9:00. Katala's Klingon 101. I want as many of you that can get there, please be there, and support. I said, now Saturday night, we're going to tear it down a little bit. I said, although Sunday we have, the Star Trek United thing, but we'll be good. I'm pretty much there, and Katala will be there with me. But after that, I said, that's the time to get. Saturday night is your time. Tear it down. Do what you got to do. So Miss Liz had she had some scotch, something else. I had the bourbon, and I'm telling you, I remember that scotch well. I don't, as a matter of fact, I still, every time I go for a sip of my bourbon, that I'm tasting that scotch. So I got to get some more of that. But like you said, I mean, even at Rocky Horror, we were down there past it. Yeah, we were having a ball. It's that type of con. And for those of you who were at the other two conventions, I'm telling you, this year, 2025, you need to get down to Convivial. It was just so great, and the atmosphere was just so relaxing, and that's the part that I love the best about it. We didn't have to put on no airs. We didn't even have to try hard. All you had to do was show up and just talk. People were more than willing to listen. Yeah.
You don't have to mask. Come enjoy yourself, be yourself, chill out with other people.
I think that was the idea all along, was like, I was like, okay, I'm going to run a convention with all my friends, and we're going to invite all of our musician friends and author friends and cosplay friends that we have known for like a decade to 2 decades, and we're going to have all of them come, and it's basically going to be a slumber party with all our favorite people and all these new people that we get to become friends with. And that was the mentality we took into it from the get-go, was it's going to be a slumber party with all your newest nerd friends. And honestly, that's kind of the vibe I felt all weekend. It was just like a sleepover with everyone I love and all the new people I get to meet.
Yeah.
And all the people in their onesies.
Oh my God, I was so excited about those onesies.
I mean, from Saturday morning all the way until Sunday, I was seeing unicorns, bathrobes.
Yep.
I was like, wow, okay.
Oh, you know, the one of the unicorns was actually one of the contestants in the blanket fort competition.
Oh yeah.
And she actually, at the end, since we told her our plans to go forward with this, she gave us a donation going forward of, I think it was like a unicorn sleep set, something or other. So we had our first donation for the World Professional Indoor Blanket Fort Federation League this past weekend. So that'll be given out to the winner next year.
Oh, nice. We'll have to do something. We'll have to try to put something in there with you guys to help push it up. He should have won his onesie. Oh yeah, doesn't Jedi Joe have a rabbit onesie?
Oh, everyone
I
needs
think
a
so.
onesie.
Yeah, right.
I had my Star Trek onesie, but I never put it on for some reason.
I have a Grinch onesie, but that thing is so warm. I bought it because we were doing the tacky light run,
Yeah.
and it was snowing that year, and I was like, I am not going to be cold. So I bought a onesie 2 sizes up so I could layer up underneath so I wouldn't be cold during the tacky light run. And if y'all don't know what the tacky light run is, it's a Richmond favorite. Richmond is one of the top cities in the U.S. that has some of the most tacky light houses, I guess, so to speak.
There's
right?
like a whole tour. People
Oh
take
my
limos.
gosh. Yes. It's a huge thing in Richmond. So, and when I moved down here, I wasn't in the best mood because I was just going through my divorce and everything. And it was going on a tacky light tour. And that was really just me driving around looking at houses because I like Christmas lights. That actually got me in the mood and broke me out of my being miserable phase. So they will do a tacky light run, which is they take the highest neighborhood concentration, and it's like, I think 3.5, 4 miles, something like that. But
Wow.
some people actually run this. I do not. Most of us go and we
walk.
bring like spiked cocoa and we walk through and look at the Christmas lights, and then they give you like cookies while you're walking. So, I mean, it's like the best of both worlds. So that's what we do, is we walk like 4 miles in the cold looking at some horrible tacky lights. But the neighborhood comes out, everybody plays music, they cheer you on, like in the races that you see on TV from New York where they have the woo, thingies that they do. They have that there. I'm like, who does this for like, most of us are not completely
Richmonders.
Yeah, well, that's
weird.
True. Yeah, Richmonders are weird. That's true.
In a good way.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
So-
I finally got to wear my Baby Yoda onesie and my matching slippers. I was so
Aw.
excited, and then I got really hot in it.
See? It's warm.
It got too hot running around the con in that thing.
Maybe we should just use one of the projectors and do a movie projected onto the side of the
Oh,
building.
thanks, Taco Cat. She loved my Sailor Moon
Oh.
t-shirt, which
Yeah.
is great. This was like the 4th thing I tried on for
Yeah,
this.
we went through her whole closet before we started here. I'm joking. We didn't.
It's only my nerd closet. This is like my cosplay closet. All my nerdy shirts are in this one.
I was thinking about how you put everything together, and then how you were taking the donations and everything else. I mean, how is that going to transpire for next year? I mean, are there going to be a bigger and wider range
Bigger,
of?
better.
Yeah.
I think next year our raffle did so well. I think next year we may try a charity auction,
Yeah.
which some cons do. We didn't want to try for it the first year. We wanted to like start small, but I think next year we may try for a charity auction. Your friend's artwork would go really well in
Yes,
that.
that's true.
Hint, hint, wink,
That's
wink.
true. Yeah.
I know that we've already got 29 pre-reg and we don't have a date or a location, but 29 people bought tickets sight unseen.
We actually have 40.
Oh, we have 40 now?
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have 40.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's where we're at going into 2025, and that's not too bad.
No, I'm in a good mood about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a con that I would recommend because, like I said, it was just, some of the other cons with the hustle and bustle of the people, what I mean? the way they make you feel, but this one was just so laid back. It was nice, you know, really nice. And I thought the only thing that could really have made it better was getting everybody together to party at one time. You know what I mean? Because we were all, you know, some of us had, you know, we had panels, and then I mean, I know you guys were everywhere, because I would see you here one minute, and then I'd be walking down the hallway, and I see you running off somewhere else the next. So again, I know you guys were, you know, busy and moving back and forth, and manning the ticket sales table. And then, like I said, then you would have to be in a room talking to somebody or doing something else or checking out this venue, making sure that the, you know, the attendees were at the bar at that certain time and everything else. So, and the hotel wasn't that bad, because the moment my head hit that pillow, I was out.
You were too tired to care,
right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, we're drinking until 3, 4 in the morning. And you know, the people I was with were like, look, I want to hit that breakfast at 6:30, 7 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, I'm stumbling here at 3, 4 in the morning. I mean, come on, man.
Who does that? Breakfast at 6 o'clock at a convention.
I don't know who they are, but my hat is off to them.
I couldn't. No.
Trust me.
The 3-2-1 rule: 3 hours of sleep, 2 meals, and 1 shower every day.
Right?
That's the rule we live by.
I'm telling you, I was, and then Sunday I had the 2 costume changes, which wasn't that bad. Saturday I had my Sith outfit. I forgot my boots. I had my cane saber, but I didn't have my boots. I didn't have the belt for it. And I'm just like, how do you leave the house? And then I remember, you do that. When you're rushing off to a convention, you're packing up everything else, and some certain things get left behind. Katala's notes got left behind. Because she was like, "Can you print this out for me?" I'm like, "I got a printer. I just got it for Christmas. Yeah, I can print it out." Printed it all out, stacked it over there with the boots and stuff. And when I walked through the door, the boots fell over and the paper slid across the living room floor. And I was just like, okay.
Yeah. Hey, so it wouldn't be a normal trip for me, literally anywhere, if I didn't forget one thing. And she knows I would forget my head if it wasn't attached. It's bad. Like, I'll bring all these useless things that I don't need, except for the one thing that I was supposed to bring.
Sure. I tell you, I wanted to do that Jedi Academy thing so bad. So bad. I just got a brand new lightsaber for my birthday in the fall. I wanted to play with this thing so bad. I had it in my hand. I got down there. I'm on my way over to it. Somebody stops me, needs help with something. I go, okay. So I walk and I do that. I come back on my way back. Someone else stops me, needs me to do something. I literally carried this lightsaber around for 45 minutes praying that I was going to make it to this thing. And when there was 10 minutes left of it, I said, I'm just taking it back to the room. It's not even worth it.
I can tell you now, Jedi Joe, that's his passion. He is in charge of the order. So we have a fraternal order of the Force, and Jedi Joe is the Grand Master of the order. And that's what he does on Saturdays. He teaches the lightsaber thing. So he loves doing that. I'm pretty sure he would have been happy to give you a nice little demonstration or something over on the side. But I love the way he teaches his class, because he teaches it in the realm of Star Wars. You know, and that makes that kind of easier for you to relate to, you know what I mean, when you're holding your lightsaber, when you're doing your positions. So I'm in another school, and that's strictly, you know, by the numbers. My Sifu, if you mess up, you know, if you drop your lightsaber, you're looking at push-ups. Oh, this guy is, he's strict. Tough. He is really strict. Matter of fact, I got an ass whooping coming for me, because he was like, you missed a couple days of class already. And I was like, well, you know, I was at the convention. I had your pamphlets out at my table. hoping that would buy me a little favor. No, it did not. So,
Oh, no.
but I look forward to it. I mean, once you get into that and you start swinging that lightsaber and you start doing your stuff with it, there's nothing like it. And I was always the type of guy who I wanted to be Han Solo. I didn't want to do anything with lightsabers and all that. I own 9 of them now.
Wow.
And I've seen another one that I want, but I got to get this Mando armor off. We've been working on that for like going on 2 years now, and I finally got everything but like 4 pieces. And everybody was like, "Hey, definitely, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. What do you think?" And I was like, "Well, if we get to go back to Convivial, it'll be a Mando con." And everybody's like, "That's what I'm talking about. All of us show up in our armor. That'll be the thing." I said, "Well, that'll be Saturday. We got to set up the table. We're not setting that table up and all that armor and stuff." I said, "Saturday, you do that." So that's what we're planning. We're trying to do the Priory of the Phoenix. All our Mandalorians show up, you know what I mean, and add to the convention. But what is this? Yeah, there's one of them right now. I'll have mine. I know you do, Rob.
Yeah,
You had Jedi Joe.
got a kick out of watching the kids have so much fun. Like all the kids when they were doing
Yeah,
stuff.
everybody seemed to enjoy it.
What did you guys see the little girl that was there? Did you see the little girl?
Yeah,
She
she's
was,
my friend's
I was like,
daughter.
whoa.
She was so cute.
And that's Miss Vanessa Townsend. Well, her and Gray were virgins, right? I hadn't seen Rocky Horror since I was like right out of high school. And but her and Gray got up there and got paddled. I thought that was, I was sitting there going, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I got to talk to Rob for a little bit beforehand, and he was asking me questions, and I said, "Well, I was in a shadow cast, so you just tell me what you want to do, and we'll help you get there." He's like, "Oh, okay, all right."
Oh, it was great. I'm telling you, it was
Yeah,
one of the things that I loved, and it sticks out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, he's a professional. Him and the
They know
Creatures
what
of the
they're
Narrow, they really know what they're doing. They've been doing it a while,
So I got Dexter heckling me already. Already. I'm gonna wonder what the flight would be. That's Dakar. He's out in Missouri. We definitely got to get you out here for that, Dakar. And
oh, look, we got more help.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I've got you guys on the list for helping next year.
We've got a growing list. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, you guys put on such a great convention. I mean, I have to be honest. If I had a choice of going to another big convention or going to something that was more organic, and I'm telling you, I never felt that relaxed at a con. I wasn't on edge. I just felt like I could just walk around and just be, it was easy.
Good.
And
that was the goal.
The dealer's room, though, I kept saying to myself, well, it's not like a Star Trek convention or a Star Wars convention, so I won't find anything. I'll be damned if I didn't walk in there like, God, I want that. Then there's the damn fudgy guy down here, and he's calling my name, and I had to, I'm like, okay, we got to calm down. Don't spend any money yet. And then when I'm at the fan tables, you had a person that was doing the leather cuffs with the. I was like, So you guys hit it. It was nice. Good. You had a variety of everything, and some of the better stuff. There was a lady actually doing massages.
Oh yes.
Yes, and she's
a musician.
Yeah, she's a musician. That's Dirty Metal Lefty.
She was also in the Space Pirates.
She's also in the Space Pirates.
She was busy.
I see. Oh man, I would have loved to talk to her then.
Yeah,
she's good people.
She's amazing. She is a triple threat through and through.
Oh yeah.
And I'll connect you with her because she's just. I don't think there's a thing that she does that doesn't come out amazing.
No.
So yeah, and like everything, she's a Reiki master. However you say that, I'm probably saying it wrong, but yeah, and
she's just all around cool. Like anytime I've ever had any interaction with her, it's always so like
chill,
just chill and awesome. She just
and
exudes that feeling of hey, relax, it's cool.
Right? And her accent, oh my god, I could listen to her talk all day.
All day.
But you know, that's just me with the European accent. I'm like, oh,
yeah, she was English. I was gonna say, and then the other person that you had that was pretty cool was the tattoo artist that was there.
Stabby Tabby.
Because I know Lady Gray got a piercing while she was sitting around, so that worked out well as also. So that was great to have that person there. I think Calibus is frozen, so he'll probably be back in just a minute. But I enjoyed them, and then there was somebody that was doing like hair, putting the things in the hair, which was great too. So a lot of different people there.
We wanted an eclectic amount of people. Like we wanted something different because you don't see. I literally have never seen a tattoo / piercing artist at a convention ever. I've seen fairy hair and I've seen henna, but like this henna was done differently than the henna I've seen before, so that was kind of nice that she did like the intuitive henna. And then we've seen a massage therapist, but I thought she was significantly more.
Doc was a little.
She had more going on
massage
with her massage than I've had in the past.
So yeah, we tried to get a little bit of everything, and then of course we had the lady that was doing pendulums and readings and things like that. So we tried to have something that covered a little bit of everything for everyone.
I think we did that for music too, though. Like we really like made a point to do that for a lot of different aspects. Like when we went through the things for the vendors room, and we went through the things for the fan tables and stuff, and then we went through the musicians. We made a point to get an eclectic mix because we wanted to make sure there was something for everybody. So even if Wizard Rock is not your jam, you had other options.
Yeah.
If you're not into the like heavy metal, you had other options. So everybody got a little bit of something out of it was kind of our goal.
Yep.
Yeah, I have to agree. There was, when it comes to the music, like you were saying, there was everybody's taste was represented at the con because like I did enjoy Hip Hop McDougal. I think it was probably the Space Pirates. They were awesome as well. So, and like Calva said earlier with the robot, because at first I thought it was somebody talking, but then I was like, nobody's talking. The robot is actually just doing that. So that one threw me for a loop every time. And then breaking it down when he went to sleep, and then they knocked on him, he woke up. So I was like, yeah, I really enjoyed that. Like we said earlier with the panels, all of the panels were fantastic, especially given the information on the podcast. I sat through that one. I enjoyed that one. I guess my only question, have you thought about what's going to happen next year with any of the panels going forward? Any ideas?
Yeah, we had some that went over really, really well.
That we'll probably do a spin off of. Not exactly like it, but maybe the same area just because they did so well.
Yeah. And the escape room one was huge. And I know Jonah, who was helping us with programming, he also does his own. So Jonah and Mike Pedersen were supposed to do this together, but Jonah had to cancel for the weather. But Mike Pedersen also runs his own at RavenCon, so I knew he was gonna, and he researches the heck out of things when he's doing something. So I knew he was an excellent host for that. So he was surprised to have an audience, but I told him, I said, I was not surprised because everybody wants to know what's in your brain. Like I have a tough time figuring out what's in your brain. But yeah, people were taking notes and that went over really well. Because he runs 2 of them, although he's done more than that. He's put together 3 for RavenCon, which is in April, but he only runs 2 at a time. So,
well, that's good. I know everybody was talking, and you're looking at Is it going to probably be the same week again next year,
No.
or
We'll
no?
change. We're going to change the date. We are looking at a date in February, and we're looking at a date in the fall. And it's going to come down to what the costs are for the hotels in the area. Because one thing I did hear from a lot of people was that it was very cost effective to come to the con because we were able to keep the prices down because we were able to get such a good deal, but also the hotel room prices were nice and low. And I want to be able to continue thinking about that in the upcoming years because people are on a budget. People still want to go to conventions. Conventions shouldn't be a case of you have to have loads of money to be able to go to them.
Right.
It's great that there are conventions that you can go spend lots of money on, but I do think that it's nice to have the option for people that are more on a budget to be able to still go, enjoy their friends, enjoy fandom, and still get that without having to break the bank.
Right.
So we're going to look at a date in fall, and we're going to look at a date in February, and we're going to go to the hotels and see what we can get that would work well for our clientele. Because at the end of the day, I want to make sure that people can go that want to go.
Yeah, I have to agree because the price of the hotel was fantastic. I can't not argue with that. And then the con itself was inexpensive too. So, when you look at the whole picture, everything was reasonably priced just to have fun with everybody else. So I am looking forward to it again. So I can't wait to see what happens. Let's see, hopefully Calibus will rejoin us. But any thoughts about what worked well this con and what you think might work going forward?
I think having our laid back, like we didn't pack the schedule. We left it fairly loose so that people could kind of come and go as they wanted and not be like, nobody should be worried about making it from this panel to that panel and they've got 4 panels back to back to back and no time to eat. That's unreasonable. That's not going to give off the cozy, relaxing vibe that we were going for. So I think we did a really good job of trying to spread out where people had to be and giving people that opportunity to have a lot of downtime. Because you don't want to go to a con even as a guest and then work 24/7 the whole time and not enjoy yourself. Because most people that are guests at cons, this is not the way they make their living. So they work a full week and then they come to the convention. And then if you work them from sun up to sundown, they're getting nothing out of it. They're less likely to come back.
Yeah. So
I would say, yeah, I was going to say the same thing because I've known where I've gone to cons and there could be 2 panels going on at the same time that you want to see because they couldn't space them out and then they're not even close to each other. So you're running from
Right.
one side to another, as well as you see the same people in, like they would go from this panel, then maybe an hour later you'll see them at a different panel with a different group of people. So that definitely happens a lot. And I didn't feel that way at all with this convention, and that's great to see. I'm sorry I cut you off, Anita. I didn't know what you were here to say.
pretty much 90% of what I'm saying isn't important. You got to weed through the 10% that is. I tell all my friends that, but
she does.
It's true. I mean, it's true. So no, I was going to bounce off both of what you guys were saying in that there were some things that we did this year that were new, and I honestly had no idea how they were going to go over.
No.
So I was kind of hoping that it was going to be okay, but I wasn't sure. Hey!
Yay!
Yeah. You remember when I was telling you we were having those difficulties?
I see that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my router just died, is what it is. So
No.
yeah. Luckily, there's 2 in the house, and I have the trusty Mac that I was using at the convention, believe it or not, and bam. So I'm back. But you were in good hands. I know Marky Mark took care of you.
Oh,
yes.
he did.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, and Marky Mark, the one thing that I was telling Calibus before you joined us, I was kind of upset that I didn't get a chance to talk more to you and Bonda, and all you guys there. And I didn't. well, I really didn't get a chance to talk to you guys all that much, anyways, because I was running around. So, so it was nice to be able to at least say hi a couple times.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw you were busy. Every time I walked by, you were doing something, and I didn't want to bother you. So I thought,
Bother
away.
away.
Bother.
Like
oh,
always. It's not a
no,
problem.
because it just
Unless
looked
I'm
like you guys
trying
were
to
just
bother.
so busy the whole time. Like Caliber said, we see you one place, then we see you someplace else. I'm sorry you didn't get a chance to go to the lightsaber thing because I forgot to bring my lightsaber. Like Caliber said, I totally forgot mine, and I didn't think about it till I'm looking at everybody had theirs. So I feel you on that one.
Yeah, when I got back into town, I had to go pick my dog up for my parents, and my mom's first question was, "Did you get to play with your new lightsaber?" Because when I got it, I was staying at their house overnight for like a doctor's appointment in Richmond, and I was in the backyard in the middle of the night playing with this lightsaber, and while the dogs were using the bathroom, and my mom was like, "Our neighbors are gonna think you're crazy," and I'm like, "They already do. It's fine."
Right? Who cares?
Nobody would think you crazy when you're playing with a lightsaber. You know,
Oh, and then I got my dad to hold it, and he started swinging. He was like, "Actually, this is fun." I was
Right?
like, "See,
Very fun.
you didn't know till you tried it."
So Dexter is talking about your company there, Marky Mark. He's
I see
and
that.
I
And you
can
know, it's
I can
funny.
honestly say, look, it's not even Cox. My Cox is running strong. It was Verizon
Ooh, okay.
charging me that damn $80. I'll be talking to Verizon tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
But like you guys, I got my backups. I got this Mac and I got 2 other laptops back there in case anything else. But I think this will be good.
We brought 3 backups just in case something happens. So
We've
yeah,
got the 2 phones, an iPad Mini, an iPad. Like
another backup. Yeah,
we're so set up right now.
yeah.
You gotta have it. You gotta. What is? Oh, we gotta look. This is our resident Sith Lord spelling my name wrong. But no, again, the way you had it, putting it together, I love hearing the story about how it came about. You guys have done an excellent job, and we are more than happy to push and promote anything that you guys want to throw our way. Here at the portal, we can throw it out there, and of course, we'll push it out on the 757 for you as well, because we're all really kind of part of the same groups. All of us, we're all in these little circles, and even Rob, who was at a different convention, he was trying to get over there, but at the last minute, he's like, "Well, I've already kind of committed. I'm like, hey, I got it." I said, "But next year you're coming with us." So yeah, we're gonna keep our little family together as we go into 2025. Looking forward to everything. But again, if there's anything that you two are doing, hit me up. I'll be more than happy to help podcast it out there for you, push it, promote it, do whatever. Because again, the convention was it was something that I needed. I hadn't been to a inside con in a long time where you can just, when you get tired, you can go to your room.
Yeah.
But it was like you didn't want to miss anything. I mean, you hated to, I got to go eat. All right, I'll run upstairs and I'll grab something and I'll come right back. So, and those are the kind of best cons anyway to be at. You know what I mean? Versus going to a place and if you leave, you got to drive all the way home, then come all the way back.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also why we had the quiet room too, that we had in case anybody kind of got overwhelmed with anything, with people, I don't know, shopping, whatever. We had a room people could just go and just chill and be quiet. We had some sensory pillows and stuff like that there, so you could just if you get overloaded, just go chill out.
And that was a first time. That was one of those things, like you were saying, that we tried and we weren't sure if it was going to be a thing or if it was basically going to be an empty room that we paid for all weekend or what was going to happen. I will say this: it got used, and people thanked us for having it. So it's something that we'll definitely have next year and we'll add to and make it a little more. But a lot of what we did was there was a lot of trial and error. There was a lot of stuff that we were like, let's see if it works.
Yeah, and a lot
We'll
of
give
it
it a
was
try.
Yeah, it was just like, hey, we'd like to do this. Wouldn't it be great if we could see this there? And I think the sensory, the quiet room was the Jonah's idea on that one. He had a lot
Jonah
of great
and Rachel.
ideas.
Remember that?
Oh yes.
We had
Rachel
a
helped
meeting
with that
Rachel
too.
and Jonah were talking about it.
Yeah, so we have some people on staff that are educators, especially in the neurodivergent space. It's a lot of us in fandom are a little neurodivergent in one way or another. So we wanted to make sure that we kind of hit everybody's need, so to speak, as much as we could.
And I do think what you said about we did a lot of the stuff was, I love doing this. I bet people would love doing this on a bigger scale than what we like doing it. That was a lot of it. Like that first meeting that we had at your house where people were like, well, what would we do about a guest of honor? And I was like, oh, I've already got one. And they were like, what how do you already have a guest of honor? We haven't even agreed to this yet.
It's because Jenny's fast. That's why. She's quick.
Don't tell everyone.
She's quick. She's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, and then like 15 minutes later, she's like, I've got 20 people coming to help. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, so we're doing this now. All right, I'm not even joking. That is
exactly what happened. I was like, oh, I've already got 3 musicians lined up. The meeting's not even over.
She's fast.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how RavenCon ended up with a tea party. We were having a tea, and I was like, okay, it's on. I've got a staff already. Yep. We're gonna make it.
Yeah, and she's like, done. She's the queen of rounding people up.
I just do it really quickly. I don't know.
She does it very quickly. She's the speed demon of volunteers. Although I will say, in this right before the con, Sunday, I found out that I had lost my reg team because we had a bunch of people come down sick, and I was like, oh, okay, so who's going to run reg? And I'm like, well, me. All right, I can't do this alone. So I reached out to 2 people. And within 6 hours,
we had a reg team.
I had a reg team and 10 volunteers.
How does it feel being me?
But you could have done it in 15 minutes, and it took 6 hours during the workday. So, but it was great. I mean, our little community really comes together when we need each other.
Yeah, one of my coworkers and her daughter showed up, and they were the ones running the charity raffle. They just showed up to help.
Yeah. So. We're very lucky that in fandom everybody just kind of bonds together when people need each other. Yeah.
Definitely. Again, I mean, you guys made it. You made it a con for fans. I mean, I know a lot of places say that, but this one was truly a fandom con. I mean, we all were helping each other. We were all supportive of each other, and that was the great part about it. Never again, I don't think, until maybe when you guys put on another one, will I feel like that, when I go into a convention, because I got to go to GalaxyCon last year, and I got to be honest with you, I'm dreading going this year because of the crowds, because it was so packed and massive, and you couldn't hear. I lost out on an autograph because I couldn't hear them say, you know what I mean? I couldn't hear the things, going off. But I love the experience. I just hate the people because they had the fire marshal come in and close them down. They couldn't let people in until a lot of people came out.
Yeah. I heard about that.
Because it was, after the pandemic, we didn't have anywhere to go. And then now you have this con, and just like this year, they keep adding all these stars. And I'm just like, oh, it's going to be crazy. Saturday is just going to be crazy up in there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm quite up for it. Other than getting my autographs, and geeking out with those. I think that's the motivational factor right now. But again, I got a couple. I got the honored author that you had there.
Keith.
Yeah. I kept teasing Katala about that, because we're sitting at the table and I'm looking at everybody. I'm like, look at her. She's glowing. Look at her. And she's coming in with her little book, and she's like, he signed it. So I went in there and I thought, Keith, I need you to. I said, remember you said something about a Batman book? He goes, well, I wrote this. I wrote this storyline in this one book. It's about the Joker. I'm like, oh yeah, sign that for me. So then I come swagging in. I'm like, he signed it. She turned around and had a picture taken with that man.
So years ago I had moved back to Richmond also during my divorce. Wow, we do a lot of that, don't we?
Yeah.
And I had a friend, and he came to my workplace and was just like, hey, and this was like on a Wednesday. And he goes, Friday, we're flying out to Atlanta. And I go, what? He goes, I need you to take off. We're flying out to Atlanta. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he goes, I bought flights and tickets to Dragon Con. You and I are going. And I was like, well, where are we staying? Because they're sold out. And he goes, I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. Young, dumb, spontaneous me was like, cool, yeah. He ended up staying at his sister's house. I was like, I'm not leaving the hotel. I will find somewhere to sleep. I kid you not. I hollered at my boy Keith, slept on his floor.
Really?
I was like, I got a sleeping bag. Can I sleep on your floor Friday night? I was like, you're in Atlanta, right? He was like, yeah, I'm at Dragon Con. I was like, do you and Ren mind if I sleep on your floor? And he was like, nah, come on. But like, so when I was like figuring out guest of honor, I was like, Keith, I know Keith. Keith has my back. I met him at Mysticon, God, years. I mean, it was like my first Mysticon. It was years ago.
A long time ago.
Wow.
But I was like, I know this man's got my back. So when we had to come up with a guest of honor, I was like, that's the one I want.
I hear you. And he was great. He was, you know, very approachable and stuff like that, laid back. And I mean, it was just, again, one of those great times that you know, when you meet people like that and they're quick to, you know, sign off for you. It was great.
He does chats with my students. I teach middle school, and I've got an enrichment class, and he actually did like a video interview, like talked about being an author, and did like a Q&A session with my enrichment class last year, and he's going to do another one this year. But like, these are kids that live in the middle of nowhere. Like, we live in the country. They don't get a lot of opportunities to meet, like,
there's a cow in her backyard.
There's not a cow in my backyard. Don't lie to people. There's a creek. Just a little creek.
It's a little cow.
Oh, man.
But like, he's so approachable and the kids love him. I've actually used lots of con people to do things like enrichment things with my students because it's great. Like Mike Patterson, who did the just did some of the panels you guys may have seen. He's done like a creative writing day with my students.
They love him. He's so good with kids.
They adore him and Keith. They were like, oh my God, when are they coming back, Miss Carter? They were hoping he was going to come in person this year because I had him coming to the con. They were like, can he come see us in real life? And I was like, no, I cannot afford to trick this man into coming out to the country.
Oh,
with the cows. There are cows in the field across from my school. That part's not a lie. And there were baby cows in the field behind the school for a while.
There's a whole wilderness right out the window back over there. So, you know.
But there's no cows in my neighborhood. We just have small dogs.
Well, ladies,
thank you.
We almost had, you know, at the hour mark, and I apologize for the problems with the internet.
It happens.
It happens.
But anytime you want to get on a panel or you want to talk about anything that's upcoming that you want us to, you know, to talk about, you're always welcome here, both of you.
Thank you.
Your convention was something that I'll never forget. I hadn't been to one in so long that it was just something that I'll always remember. And that's the, you know, and that's the greatest joy. And of course, meeting you two and adding you to the group collective of fandom and craziness now, I love it. I think it's one of those things that I the next time we do get together, though, we will have to have a drink.
Yeah, we'll have some
grape juice.
White grape juice.
I'm out.
And I'll bring you a couple of shot glasses to celebrate with.
Oh yes, we love that.
All right, Marky, got anything you want to add before we check out?
No, just saying I did have a great time. My wife and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Can't wait to come again next year. So looking forward to it.
We look
Yeah.
forward to having you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank our guests from Convivial, the first and second chair. They put on a hell of a convention. If you missed it this year, you definitely have to be there next year. I cannot thank you guys enough. Sorry about the internet problems. We're under control as we go into it. I'll leave you with what I always leave you with. May the force serve you well, light or dark, because this is the way.
Please subscribe and hit that notification bell, and thanks.